Good morning, VIP Kid teachers and those of you who are thinking about becoming VIP Kid teachers. VIP Kid is a company of online education. We teach students in China from our homes in America and all over the world. I do not live in the United States. I'm an expat. I live in the Dominican Republic with my husband, and I have been doing VIP Kid for just over a year, okay? About 15 months or so. So today I promised to put a video out about things that you can do for your fast finishers. So these are some of the things that I do in my classroom when I finish early, okay? Because if you're thinking about VIP Kid and you're not familiar, we are contracted and paid for a 25 to 28 minute lesson. And so if a student finishes early with the prescribed PowerPoint, then we should, as teachers, come up with something great to occupy the rest of the time. So today I will tell you about just a few things that I do in my classroom to help the students read and learn vocabulary and have conversation that you can do in your classroom. So the first thing, of course, is if you have extra time, you can go back and review the information from the lesson that the student maybe didn't quite get. So I will often use my whiteboard to review phonics and how to decode a word. If it's bed, ed, and change it. Ed to ed, and add letters that are different to make different initial letter sounds. So this is something that I work on a lot with my students, especially level 2 when they're just learning to sound out words. So that's the first thing. You can also go back and review their vocabulary using props and other items that you have around that you can make more connection with the students, like their fruits and vegetables. The first level 2 lesson about food just says food and fruit. So you can always expand that initial introductory lesson, which are the lessons that tend to go very quickly, with, what is this? This is a banana. Do you like bananas? And then have the students tell you, I like it. Yes, I like. No, I do not like bananas. So that's something that I do. I also will often expand the lesson content on like things like your family. Who do you live with? How many brothers do you have? How many sisters? So that's always a good thing to do. This is really easy to do in level 3, 4, 5 when the students are reading well, conversing with you well, and have a good idea of the English language. They've been studying for a couple of years, so they can talk to you about their favorite holidays and their school and their family and their likes and dislikes and sports and games. So use that first. Secondly, I have not a ton, but I have a small collection of books. Like I said, I live in a foreign country. So for me to find books in English is a challenge. We speak Spanish on this island, so I often, when I go back to the States to visit, will order things from Amazon because it's really cheap to have them shipped to the States, but to have them shipped to the Dominican Republic is a little crazy. $25, $30, $50 in shipping. So I did buy this small collection of Dr. Seuss books. I love these. These have been a lifesaver for me. I love that there's a good collection in this collection. This one has a hop on top, 10 apples up on top, I think, or the things you can think, and the shape of me. So it has 2 books that are sort of on the lower reading spectrum, lower level spectrum, and 2 that are on the upper. So I like to use this one because it has a lot of rhyming words and phonetic spelling. So hop, pop, up, cup. It even has the all ending, which is introduced in level 2, and 3B. It's just a really good way for students to learn to read. We also have the 10 apples. I love this for counting purposes. It counts forwards, it counts backwards. It's just a really good book. I also have some Sesame Street books that I purchased online, and this one is a favorite because it's bubbles. So we blow bubbles at the beginning, then the kids read about the bubbles being on their nose and their toes. I love the body parts in this book. It's really great. I think everyone should have a copy of at least one Dr. Seuss book. He's the master. And all of his, most of his books are so rhyming and phonetic, and it's so easy for kids to learn English by reading these books. So number 2, read a book with your student. You can either read it to the student or have the student follow along with you each word. Stand up straight, point to your nose. And you can't just, of course, read a story. You gotta be the story. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, especially for my younger kids, I love to, level 1s, level 2s, I love to go back and talk about objects that they know, like an apple, a banana, a star, the moon, and then we talk about colors. So, banana, what is it? It's a banana. And then we talk about yellow banana, yellow car, blue car. Colors are not introduced until near to the end of level 2, which I think is, I'm not sure why, but kids really want to know how to describe an object. So I do use colors. We go through colors. We discuss animals if we have time. A shark, a turtle. We do those. I talk about shapes with my students. If I have time, we would talk about shapes and colors. I have color cards and shape cards that we use. And also, I have this one little book. Oh, these are other books that I love. I know I'm a little today. Sorry, I taught 11 classes this morning, so forgive me. I have these little tiny books that are so perfect for VIP Kid because they're not cumbersome. You know, when you show a book in the camera, they're tiny, and the kids can read along and still see you. But I like my little opposites book because we can talk about near and far and wet and dry and hot and cold, and the kids really enjoy that as well. They love that. Okay, this is your moneymaker. Find yourself some sight word cards, or I have seen, there's a wonderful teacher on the internet who I've seen who made her own sight words on some popsicle sticks. You could do this as well. But I love to use my sight words for extra time. And here's how you can use them. First, you can just have the students read the sight words for level 2s, and just for learning the words is good. For students in upper level 2, level 3, even level 4s, I will often give them like 2 cards. Look and big. Make me a sentence with look and big. And they're going to give me one sentence with both these words, and it's really good to help them build sentence structure and conversation skills. If they're a little bit lower, sometimes I'll just give me a sentence with it. So these really, and they like this. Like, I don't know that I would be one to make sentences, but they love this. So those are just a few things you can do. You can also, the last thing would be, of course, work on skills they missed and work on their conversation skills. Have a chat with your students and get to know your students. I think one of the biggest compliments that I've ever gotten from parent feedback is that I truly care about the student and who they are. So I know which student plays basketball, and I know which student loves bunnies, and which students, I have a student that hates monkeys. So like, I'll say, Dino, not the monkey, wants to say hi. So get to know the kids and their interests and converse with them about them. Okay, I do have some links below to some of the books and things that I use in my classroom for extra time. If you want to become a VIP Kid teacher, I would love to Skype with you and help you prepare for your interview. So my referral link is in the description below as well. It's a pleasure seeing you this morning. Have a wonderful day.